Hey, what's up you guys, and welcome to ATV. Well, I put a post on Twitter saying that I was going to do a Q&A, and I told you guys to send me all your questions that you want me to ask, and I'm going to answer them on this video. You guys overwhelmed me with some questions. I think I got over 20 of them now. So on my phone, I'm going to be answering your guys' questions. And some of you guys also answered more than once, gave me a question more than once. I think it was like two different people gave me multiple questions, but I'm going to get to those as well. So let's get started. Yes. Stay Cool asks, any advice on YouTube? Well, YouTube is at a state right now to where it may not be looking good, where YouTube may die, so to speak, in 2020. But I say just keep going, keep uploading content, keep being true to yourself, and just hope for the best. That's all I can really say at this point. Maggie asks, do you have a favorite place or house? This is something I might have mentioned to a friend. There are two places that in the U.S. that I would love to go or love to see. Interview with the Vampire Plantation home they filmed in, and the Winchester Mansion in California. That's a good question. If there's one place that I've always wanted to go, I've always wanted to go to Graceland, which I did. I went to Graceland a few months ago. I actually filmed a vlog. It's called A Day at Graceland. But if there's another place that I've always wanted to go, it's the Stanley Hotel in Colorado, where Stephen King got inspiration to write The Shining. It was also the place where they filmed the TV miniseries of The Shining in 1997. And it's a very, very haunted hotel, and I've always wanted to go there and do some ghost hunting. But yeah, it's definitely one place I've always wanted to check out. Stay Cool again asks, how did you find D-Crack's channel, and what is your dream job? I discovered his channel through his Angry Grandpa reactions, and that's how I became a fan of his channel. That's also which led to me becoming one of his closest online friends. And yeah, that's how I discovered his channel. I discovered him through his AGP reactions. And what's my dream job? Either an actor or director of the films, or a writer. I'm good at all those. Those are like my three favorite things to do in my off time, is directing, acting, and writing. Tonic Tosser 2001 says, are you planning on more series on your channel? Yeah, I'm thinking about trying. I'm still doing the Devil sort of series that I've been doing for like the past, I don't know, year or two, where I have the necklace or whatever. I just haven't got around to it. Yeah, I do need to do more series and stuff. It's a lot more difficult when you're doing a series. I need to bring back some very familiar characters like Lemon. Sorry, I had a little cough there. But yeah, I got a couple of familiar faces that I'm gonna try and bring back to the channel in 2020, so stay tuned for that. Chelsea says, where do you want to live besides Georgia? I don't know. When I went to Buffalo, I really had a good time down there, but I don't know. I feel like in my sort of profession, if I really want to make it anywhere, I think my closest bet would be Atlanta. It's not a place I'd want to live maybe California, somewhere in LA or Las Vegas. I don't want to go to a place too busy. Maybe Tennessee. Tennessee's a very beautiful place, or maybe even Florida. But I like Tennessee. I might even move up to Tennessee. That's a really pretty place to live. Clarissa asks, what's your favorite horror movie? Now, I said this earlier, this is a very good question, but it's also a very difficult question. Now, here's how I'm going to answer the question. I'm going to put 3 different horror movies, because horror movies in general was placed in 3 distinct categories, in my opinion. You have the Golden Age, the Silver Age, and the Bronze Age. The Golden Age is like the 1920s, 1930s, 1940s, 50s, right around there. That's that era. The Silver Age is, your everyday slasher. A slasher flick that came out in like the 70s, 80s, right around there. And then you have the Bronze Age, which is more of your modern day horror films. Because horror has changed drastically over the course of, the past 100 years or so. And, okay, so my favorite Golden Age horror film from the 1920s, 30s, around there is Frankenstein. That is one of my favorite horror movies from that era. I love all the Universal monster movies, Bride of Frankenstein, The Mummy, Dracula, The Invisible Man. I love that. Creature from the Black Lagoon. I love all those kind of Universal monster movies. But yeah, Frankenstein is one of my all-time favorites from that era, okay? The Silver Age, I would say it's a cross between, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Halloween, but I'll have to stick to Halloween because Halloween was one of the first horror movies that I saw as a kid, and that's one of my favorites from the Silver Age. And now the Bronze Age. The Bronze Age, if there's one movie that came out in the 2010s that really, really bothered me, it was Insidious, the first one. Amazing film, really, really horrifying. James Wan always sells me in his movies. He knows how to scare you. You know, he did Dead Silence. He did the first Saw movie. He did the Conjuring series up till like 2. But yeah, James Wan is the way to go. He needs to get back to horror movies. He hasn't done a horror movie in a while, you know. He's been doing the Aquaman and the Fast and Furious movies, but yeah, he needs to go back to what he's good at, and that's horror movies. That's just my little 2 cents on James Wan. Clarissa also asks, what's your favorite Christmas movie? That's a tough question too, because there's a lot of good Christmas movies out there. Christmas Story, Christmas Vacation, the Santa Claus. There's a ton of good Christmas movies out there. The Polar Express, I can go on. But my favorite Christmas movie would have to be A Christmas Carol from 1984, because they've remade that movie a bunch. My favorite is the one from 1984 that stars George C. Scott. It's a fantastic film. Josh Padmore asks, if anyone from the streams could join the panel for the first time and you had the choice, who would it be? I'm trying to think. I can't really pick one person though. There's so many people I like to have on the panel. You know, you, Josh, Zach, Clarissa. I think Clarissa's been on before. Spooky Kitten. I don't think we've ever had Spooky Kitten on the panel before, but definitely have some of you guys on the panel. I like it when I meet you guys, you know, face to face and or via, you know, Hangouts call. MFF asks, what was your favorite part about doing a collab with me and D-Crack? Well, my favorite part was the interaction, because it's weird, it's hard to explain, because I feel like I've known you guys, you two specifically, for over 20 years. It feels like I've known you all my life. And something about how when we met, we just clicked. You know, we just put off so much energy together. And when we finally met up in Buffalo, it was just like, it was just a big fundamental moment, and it was such a fun experience, and I definitely want to do it again, for sure. Lip asks, what or who inspired you to pick up a camera and start making skits and videos? Okay, well, what inspired me? I was always a big fan of movies, and at first, like I said, it was always just for fun. It was never really like a big deal, but as the years went on, it became much of a hobby. Much more of a thing. And who inspired me? My dad, really. My dad is like a spitting image of me, and he too likes movies. He used to make videos, you know, when he was my age. You know, there's like 2 videos I uploaded on YouTube from 97 and 99 that he filmed. They were like these 2 little horror movies with Michael Myers. But yeah, I mostly got that inspiration from my dad. Kevin asks, would you ever do a live stream on YouTube, and would you do a collab with me or Stay Cool? Well, about the live stream, I've always wanted to do a live stream series on YouTube, but I just feel like nobody would watch it. You know, I feel like I'd have a couple of people watching, but I don't know. I just kind of feel like I'm more comfortable, you know, when I know what I'm doing in the now. Like this video, I'll edit and upload it. I just feel more comfortable doing that, because something about doing it live, especially when I'm by myself, I don't know, live streams are weird. I mean, unless it's like D-Crack's live stream or any other live stream that I happen to join, that's one thing. But if it's something I do, I don't know, it just doesn't seem right. I'll go live here and there on like my Instagram, but I don't know, I may or may not. And about the collab, yeah, I'll collab with anybody, you know, anybody who, you know, wants a collab. If I'm free, hit me up. Zach Padmore says, what is the proudest moment you had during your time on YouTube this year? Hands down. I will be, I wasn't going to really say this, but I'm doing a year-end video at the end of the year, where I'm talking about the entire 2019. This has been the best year, without a doubt. I'm the most proudest I've ever been in my life as of right now. D-Crack asks, just curious, have you ever had a girlfriend? I know you're single right now, but I mean in the past. Okay, I guess you could say I've had one girlfriend before. It was a girl I went to church with. It didn't last long. It was about a week-long relationship, and I've been on a date before. We went to the movies. This was a couple years ago. But other than that, I really haven't been looking, to be honest. If there's somebody that comes my way and we kind of hit it off, you know, and we'll see where it goes from there. But honestly, I haven't been looking for a girlfriend. I could use one. We all know I could use me a honey in my life, you know what I'm saying? But we'll see what life throws my way. The Angry Kid 1407 asks, what made you make videos on YouTube? Like I said, it was the whole thing about me liking movies, and the same thing with my dad, and it was starting as a hobby, and then it just became something bigger and bigger and bigger. But yeah, it was always like an inspiration as to films and stuff. Jose asks, who was your first YouTuber or YouTube channel that I watched? It was a mixture, you know. I always watched like Ray William Johnson and the Slow-Mo guys. There was a channel called Pess. I watched him. A lot of the Smosh, but one of the channels that I grew inspiration to, which one of the reasons I created this channel, was Shane Dawson. I was always a fan of his skits that he did in the early days. He was very edgy at the time, and yeah, so Shane Dawson was definitely one of the first YouTubers I watched, if not the first. Colby asks, would you do a collab with me? Sure. Shane asks, would you date Marilyn Monroe, Kim Kardashian, or D-Crack, or Kiwi Berry? I guess if I lived in the 1950s, I'd be all over Marilyn Monroe. She was a beautiful, beautiful actress. Woo. There you go, there's your answer. Spooky Kitten asks, who is your #1 favorite actress or actor? Actress would be, I don't know, maybe Jamie Lee Curtis. I like a lot of her stuff. Favorite actor, it's so tough. You know, I like Jack Nicholson, Al Pacino, Marlon Brando, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Joaquin Phoenix. But one of my favorite actors of all time is Robert De Niro, hands down. She also asks, how many movies do you have in your collection? Hold on, let me go count. The answer is 1,594. A lot of movies. Drumline Fan says, what is your favorite place to visit? I would say either Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, or I like going to Atlanta a lot. I've been going to Atlanta every year for a convention, so Atlanta's a pretty cool place to visit too. And Florida, I love going to Orlando, Florida. Oh, never mind, we got one more question left. From Ryan, it says, would you rather get killed by Michael Myers or Freddy Krueger or Jason? Well, I gotta think of the logistics around this. Jason can't die. Well, actually, neither of them can die. I could either get killed by Jason while I'm camping, or get murdered by Freddy Krueger while I'm trying to sleep, or get killed by Michael Myers anywhere. Well, I guess in Haddonfield. Let me think. Well, Freddy really messes with your head and does pretty brutal deaths. Same with Jason. I'm gonna have to go with Michael Myers because it seems like all Michael Myers does usually is use his knife. He's done some extreme stuff, but 99% of the time he just stabs you, so I guess I'm gonna get killed by Michael Myers. Well, there you go, guys. There is the Q&A. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and also follow me on Twitter and Instagram. If you want some ATV merch, be sure to click the link in the description below, and I will see you guys next time on ATV.